This proves to be very popular, I can tell you. The Drop Zone with William Hill. What happens here is that we spin the dial and we see where the penny drops on one of three topics selected for us. We don't know where it drops, and then we will take it away. So let's spin that dial. So, boys, what have we got? Oh, all right. Dele Alli. Dele Alli. Now, of course, Trevor, we know all the talk when it comes to Tottenham is, if it's not about a new manager, is where is Harry Kane going? So Harry Kane potentially set to leave Tottenham. One of the burning questions that is being asked at the moment is, if that happens, will Dele Alli step up to the fore and deliver the potential that many think that he has got in him to deliver? Interestingly, Simon, at the weekend, you maybe saw this on Instagram, at the tail end of the season, Dele Alli said this: "It goes without saying this season has been the most difficult in my career so far. There have been some incredibly low moments and tough challenges I have had to face. But I'm grateful to always have the opportunity to do what I love. This season has taught me I can't take anything for granted. And I'm more determined than ever to come back fitter and stronger. Thanks to the fans for the great support as always, and look forward to seeing you all back in the stadiums next season." Trevor, we'll get your thoughts in a second. Simon, what is your take on Dele Alli, what he's saying there? What is his level?
I always felt that Dele Alli was massively overhyped and given far too much credence for the level that he was really at. A very good player. And watched him on a number of occasions. And Gordon Strachan spent a lot of time with me telling me that I was absolutely wrong, that he was the best number 10 he'd ever seen. And so I tried to look at it more objectively. Look, he's a very good player. There's no doubt about it. But I don't think that Dele Alli is a well beater. I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player in a good side. I think when a side drops its level, players like Dele Alli aren't influencers about changing the level. They're the sort of ones that go along with that level dropping down and acclimatise to the next lowest level. This statement on Instagram, well, it is what it is, isn't it? He's saying he's had a difficult season, compounded by not being in the European Championships, I suspect, because at one time, 3 years ago, he was, the poster boy, to coin a much overused expression on this show, for English football at times, winning games in the World Cup and being celebrated for the goals he scored against Sweden, or goal he scored against Sweden. I look at it and say, we saw the documentary, we saw Mourinho's accusations about his professionalism during training. We've seen him this season. He's been in and out. Of course, the headline has been that it's another casualty of Mourinho's management, and that's what he does to certain players. He marginalises them rather than makes them better players. Or it might just simply be that certain players have a certain propensity to not do what's required of them to be top quality footballers week in, week out, month in, month out. And I think there's an element of he's fallen into that category, had his backside shown to him, and realised that he's got to pull himself together because his career is stalling.
So is that a real crossroads, no matter what?
Well, he's not going to end up in a poorhouse, right? Yeah. But he is wasting opportunities to perform at the highest level because people will now question, irrespective of who they are, they'll question what is Dele Alli really all about, because his career has stalled. Yeah. And we have to ask ourselves why that is. But I'm also more interested in talking to Trevor about, from a footballer point of view, of how good a player he actually is.
Yeah,
still only 25.
Yeah, he's still very young.
He's kind of forgotten man, isn't he?
Yeah, I think the difficulty is when he was at MK Dons. I think it was compared to Steven Gerrard. He was a box-to-box number 8 midfielder. He was combative. He'd make tackles. He'd go up the other end, create and score goals. And this is how he made his name. And that's why I think Liverpool were caught in to try and take him to Liverpool. He ended up going to Tottenham. He stuck to them principles. He was a box-to-box player. He was scoring goals. He was crunching into tackles. He was hungry. And I think what's happened is he's been rewarded for that work because he was showing great potential and great quality in the Premier League. And what's happened is he's almost taken his finger off the pulse and stopped doing what he was good at. And he thinks he's a bit of a number 10 now.
What's his potential? What potential does it? What do you see in him, Trev?
His strengths are, I mean, you look at Souček at West Ham. Without the aerial part of that, but he's got a lot more creativity and better feet in the final third. But he's that kind of player. That's what his potential is. But his hard yards, he's got an unbelievable engine. He's like a steeplechase runner. He can go box to box to box when he's on it. All action. all action kind of player. You Brian Robson-ish kind of player. That's the potential that I thought we witnessed when he was at MK Dons and when he first made that step up to Tottenham. He's not lived up to that, and I think it is because of rewards. And sometimes I think you need to take a step back. But we've heard it before, haven't we? When he said, "I'm stepping back from my commercial work."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He's got to commit to himself, get his strengthening conditioning done, get super fit again, and start living for football. Because at the moment, it looks like he's enjoying life away from football.
Well, I mean,
too
he's
much.
saying there, I'm more determined than ever to come back fitter and stronger.
Talk is cheap, though.
Talk is cheap.
Jim.
Can he reach the potential that we think he's got?
Only he can answer that, because he's got to recommit himself to football. I've done it. I've been there where I got a lot of success when I was young, got the move to QPR, everything was going brilliant. In the England squad when I was 23, I didn't get back into the England squad.
Do you think he was
29.
overhyped, Trev? Do you
No,
think
I
he's
don't.
overhyped?
I don't. I think he's just come off it. I think he has got that potential. But the thing is, the game evolves. Now it's a bit more ticky-tacky. You still got to get around the pitch, but the game evolves. It goes through different cycles. Sometimes it's running with the ball. Sometimes you've got the old Arsenal team who are very physical. Now it's about technical players. Can he evolve with it? We don't know that.
What's your gut feeling about him? You played, you know.
Yeah,
Trevor.
I think
you look at it.
listen, he's got great creativity. He's got a great eye. He can pick a pass. He's not afraid. He has got the potential to have that fitness levels where he's box to box again, but that takes a lot of commitment. That takes training, going home and training again, doing your work in the gym, working with sports psychology. You need to recommit and do everything. And if he does that, I think he can get back to them heights.